Welcome back to The Graham Show. I'm here with Julia Murney.
The Graham Show.
The Graham Show.
It's mugs, y'all. Mugs.
She's going to autograph one of these mugs.
This is not a joke. I enjoy it.
We ain't playing around on The Graham Show.
That's right.
I wanted to talk about how you initially became involved with the Wild Party.
A man that I went to camp with, that was a camper with me, had adapted, named Michael Sheeman, had adapted and directed this show called Snapshots, which was a compendium of Stephen Schwartz music put to a brand new book. I got an audition, and I'm pretty sure the only reason I had the audition was because Michael knew me. I mean, I had an agent sort of at the time, but it wasn't. And I went, and Stephen Schwartz was there, which was very exciting for me. That was sort of my crossies. I was just wanting him to be there. And I sang the song, and then he said, Mr. Schwartz said, at the time, Mr. Schwartz, do you know Meadowlark? And I said, I do. I don't have it with me. But the music director had just played, I think, like second keyboard for Patti LuPone's concerts on Broadway.
Amazing. And
so Stephen Schwartz turned to the music director and said, Andrew, who would be Andrew Lippa. And Andrew Lippa got up and walked over to the piano and played the hell out of Meadowlark. And I got that job. But it was one of those things where it didn't start for a little while for some reason. And he called me, Andrew called me and said, do you remember me? I'm the music director for Snapshots, and we're doing a reading of this show I've just started writing. Would you come do a reading of it? And I was like, yeah. But I just remember going home and saying to my parents, oh my gosh, this guy's music is amazing. And then over the next probably 4 years, as we did more and more readings, that was the only time I didn't play Queenie, was that very, very first.
Okay.
And then after that, he fought for me, and we did it at the O'Neill, and he wrote it on me, and that was thrilling, because everything fits right in your pocket.
Right. And how comfortable and...
Yeah, in a way that nothing else does.
Or was there hype, was there excitement about there being, you know, an incarnation either on Broadway or elsewhere?
That was the expectation from day one, honestly, was that it was going to move. Unfortunately, we got one particularly scathing review from one particularly powerful newspaper. And we got really great reviews in other places because there was another Wild Party, and they had gone directly to Broadway, and they hadn't opened yet.
How do you respond to a criticism like that about something that you're kind of the face of, being the star of the show? It's original material that's written for you, and it's something that you have worked on from day one.
Well, there was a part of me, there was a moment within the whole scope of the journey of the show that they looked for stars, and they looked for some other people. I knew that. I was devastated by it. I ended up getting it back in the end, which was a real sort of triumph in my heart. And if it had been a different show, I might have, even then with zero experience, or not zero, but not a lot, and not a lot of cachet, I might have gone, pick me or don't. You know how I do this show. You pick me or don't. That show meant so much to me that I had to know that I had done everything in my power to try and hold on to it. And when we opened and we got that review, there was a moment where I thought, if I was a star, they could move it to Broadway. From the beginning, the joke had been, if we're not going to Broadway, we're going to Jamaica. That was the joke. The decision was made that we weren't going to move. And then the cast in general just sort of turned and went, are we still going away? Because we always said we were going to go to Jamaica. So I went to a travel agent, and right after we closed on a Sunday, we had Monday off, Tuesday all day from like 9 a.m. to midnight, we recorded the album. And the next morning at 3 a.m. or some such, I don't know, maybe 13 of us met, got into a van, went to the airport, and went to the Dominican Republic. Sure. That's what we did.
That's a good way to celebrate your closing.
And it was. And the Friday that we were there, the other Wild Party opened on Broadway. And the hotel would get one New York Times a day. So I raced down and I got it before anybody else got it. And we sat on the beach and I read the review out loud. He didn't like that one either. And we felt We felt poorly for our friends who were in that one. You're all in it together, and you need to be. And so we felt poorly for our friends. We felt poorly for us because he kind of re-reviewed us in that one. Oh. And he essentially was like, if that other one is thinking about trying to sneak back, I will cut you. That's kind of what he said. And then, and we're all sort of sitting there in a little bit of shock. And Megan Sikora goes, well, wait a minute. We got to do our show, and we're on the beach. We win. And we're like, let's swim. And we all went in the ocean. And that's what you do. But yeah, we all went down there, me and Idina and Taye and Jen Cody. We all went down to the DR.
We'll be right back with Julia Murney.